Three major engagements yesterday. The Senate Chair, the Honorable Prime Minister of France, later on address to the community. Many of you were there and you yourself saw the sense of vibrancy, enthusiasm and just the general atmosphere of at La Sienne Musicale yesterday evening. And to cap the day off yesterday, a private dinner by President Macron for Honorable Prime Minister. Those were four key engagements yesterday. Today morning, Bastille Day, the grand National Day celebrations of France. Honorable Prime Minister was there alongside, as you all saw, a tri-service contingent from India participated in the Bastille Day parade, followed by National Assembly Chair in meeting with the President of the National Assembly of France. Thereafter, detailed discussions with President Macron at Elysee Palace, both in the restricted format and the delegation format. And even as we speak now, the CEO forum proceedings are, I am told, just got over. So they would soon be returning from there. And we have a fantastic state banquet coming up later this evening, again in honor of Honorable Prime Minister. So you can clearly see in over what must be just roughly 36 hours or so, intense schedule of engagements for Prime Minister here. The second set of things which I would categorize would be some of the rare honors that were accorded to the Honorable Prime Minister during this visit. The Prime Minister of France received Prime Minister Modi at the airport. Not a very common thing that you would see. A rare honor actually accorded. Yesterday, the award of Légion d'honneur de Grand Croix, of the highest order of France, award of France, given to Honorable Prime Minister. A chief guest at Bastille Day celebrations earlier today, another honor. A state dinner later on, which will be in honor of Prime Minister. I'm told that Honorable Prime Minister is the first Indian after the independence of India to receive Légion d'honneur of Grand Croix. So a set of great honors accorded to the Honorable Prime Minister to India during this ongoing visit of Prime Minister. Third, I would put them in the category of, and you all saw, many of the visuals clearly pointed to that, exceptional warmth of the sentiment, warmth of the friendship, and genuineness also at the same time. The extent of time that President Macron is continuing to spend with Prime Minister, last 36 hours, is actually really, really exceptional. Reflects, a sense of, as I said, comfort with each other, genuine friendship, mutual trust, of course, is which in a way is also reflective of the state of India-France, I would say, friendship in across a range of areas. Also captures shared understanding, I think, between the two countries, and say great camaraderie between the President and Prime Minister. And as I said, you could easily sense that from the visuals that you would have seen. Fourth, I would put in the category of the outcomes that we have been able to achieve during this visit. As you all know, we are celebrating the 25th year anniversary of India-France strategic partnership. The 25 years of our strategic partnership have a strength of very strong achievements in the last 25 years. This visit is taken that as a base and has, I would say, even built an edifice of India-France cooperation to come in the next 25 years. So it is again, perhaps for the first time, we can do a little bit of fact check subsequently, but my sense is this is for the first time that India has chalked out a Horizon 2047 framework of partnership with any country in the world, which India and France today included. I think the document should be out. If not out, it would be put out shortly for you to peruse yourself and see what it contains in terms of not just aspirations that the two countries think that the relationship can touch, but also has very specific substance to it, which this relationship will be filled with. If I was to give you a very quick run of that and mention, so the document Horizon 2047, a vision of the two leaders, of Prime Minister Modi and President Macron, on where the relationship should be in 2047 when India would celebrate 100th year of its independence and we will be celebrating 50 years of our strategic partnership. It has, on a very broad rough count, 63 specific outcomes that we are looking at. Now these 63 outcomes are divided among multiple pillars. You will see this when the document comes out yourself, but I'll list out for you the major headings. The first is the partnership for security and sovereignty. It takes a very, I would say, comprehensive approach to how India and France would approach their partnership in the space of security and sovereignty. It doesn't look at individual transactions. It doesn't even look at individual segments of it, but it looks at security in the widest possible perspective, reduces it into what specific things could be achieved by the two countries. The second bucket within the horizon talks of India-France partnership in the wider space of Indo-Pacific. So that is, and looks at that Indo-Pacific space more in terms of providing solutions, not just solutions aimed at the security or strategic challenges, but also the economic challenges that we face. So Indo-Pacific, an area of stability and sustainable development. That's the second pillar on the horizon. The third, space, domain of space, which is at the center of our partnership. Fourth, something which also came up very strongly in the discussions between the two leaders earlier today, is our cooperation in fight against terrorism. Fifth, shared commitment to promote renewed and effective multilateralism. Sixth, and this is this is one pillar which has several other crucial subsegments, and this is a space relating to science, technology, and academic cooperation between research institutions between the two countries, which then again breaks itself down into scientific cooperation, critical technologies, health cooperation, cyber cooperation, digital regulatory framework engagements, cooperation in digital technologies specifically, etc., etc. we then have a major segment which is categorized under partnership of planet. As the name would suggest, that includes that has a heavy focus on energy related elements, energy transition, energy research and development, and of course the challenge of climate change. The trinity of climate change, biodiversity, biodiversity loss and pollution. There is a strong focus in this on urban and ecological transitions in both our societies, and how we can partner together to look at research-based, technology-based solutions that we can both make use of, not just for the benefit of our own societies, but also extended to other countries. Then there is a segment on which is a global area of importance on sustainable growth and transition to low carbon energy. The document also then moves to one of the central pillars of our relationship, which is the people-to-people ties. So that segment is focused on partnership for the people. Given the global changes that are taking place in the, I would say, skill set configuration of different societies, the rapid transitions that are taking place, that a rapid transition that would be required, adjustments that would be needed, mobility that it would take to meet those challenges. That segment focuses on mobility partnership, skill set cooperation. How do we dovetail our academic cooperation, which tries to meet those needs of mobility and skill set development, and then combine these two, and to ensure mobility, how do we maybe look at a more conducive visa regime for people to move. And naturally, since mobility will expand the presence and spread of people, India would also be opening a new consulate in the city of Marseille that the Honorable Prime Minister announced earlier today. A critical segment of this, important segment of this, which is in which both India and France have robust complementarity, I should say, which is the field of cooperation in archaeology and museology. A great strength of France, a great aspiration of ours, of India, of Prime Minister, to build a large ecosystem of institutions that devote themselves to museology and to the archaeological conservation. And France is among our strongest of knowledge partners in that space. So these are roughly 7 to 8 broad segments of the Horizon 2047. And if you will go through this document, you will find there are roughly 60 plus very specific things. So it is 30,000 feet. At the same time, it is also very grounded in terms of what the two countries, the two systems can do. This captures really the essence of the vision of the two leaders, which they see the relationship achieving in years ahead. I will not go into the specifics of each of these areas, but if there are sort of questions on that, I would be very happy to speak about that. But since just one or two just key things to flag, because this is something which is receiving global attention right now, which is a very strong priority for my Prime Minister in India. But it is also an area of very strong focus in France, which is to combat single-use plastic pollution caused by the use of single-use plastics. We have, during this visit, arrived at a joint commitment, both India and France, to combat this challenge, take steps which would hopefully contribute to the global efforts in a strong way to eliminate and to address this challenge. Naturally, this has a global dimension, an international dimension, but it also has a strong cooperative element bilaterally that can be pursued. Besides this, in terms of, if we were to zoom in into the specific key strategic elements of the relationship in Horizon 2047, we also have a roadmap for India-France partnership in the Indo-Pacific, which, as I said, focuses entirely on a set of collaborative engagements that India and France could undertake in the area, in the entire geography of Indo-Pacific moving forward. So, all in all, an unprecedentedly successful visit with great and rare honors being bestowed on the Honorable Prime Minister, with achievements and successes which will guide our relationship in the next 25 years period of what Prime Minister says Amrit Kal, which the whole country believes in, and this is also would be the further strengthening of the strategic partnership in the next 25 years ahead of us. I would stop here, and if there are questions, we'll try and take them. Thank you.